Hafare Zantiro. My name is William Chris Loyd Husan Lely, but I prefer to be called Loyd. I am born on Saipan and raised proud resident of Taranca, California. I am Chamorro, Filipino, Native American. I was never spoken to in Chamorro growing up, which is crazy. My dad and mom spoke to me in Tagalog. We did have a lot of practices growing up as Chamorros, but we didn't really speak it. Even when my grandma was around. But nonetheless, I'm proud. But anyways, growing up in Taranca, my gosh, one of my my favorite things that I used to do growing up was just walking around the village and like being with my people. I remember, we got into trouble and, we did the things that kids do growing up. But I really enjoyed like sharing a meal with my friends at home when they would come over. I was so fortunate enough to have like my parents open the doors to all my friends. Yes, definitely. Storytelling is important. I mean, in any form, any expressive form, whether it be oral, written, through skits, videos, it's very important because that's the only way that we're gonna. I feel like that's a huge way that we learn about our ancestors, and nowadays we're very fortunate to be able to share it digitally. But yeah, I really do think that it's important. Back in the day, it's like, okay, you tell stories now. It's like, girl, tell a story, but now it's like, spill the tea, girl. Honestly, I feel like that in itself, my mom opening our doors to my friends and stuff, I feel like that taught me so many things. And I remember her saying that, we are a family that we don't have a lot of extended family members, or we were never that close. It was really just me and my 4 siblings, my mom and my dad. And so my mom always tried to instill in us that you don't really have a lot of family. So, when your friends come into your life or other people come into your life, you treat them like family, because especially if you feel like you're going to be around them a lot, or yeah. And that's why whenever I have connections, I feel like I want to make sure that like they're comfortable. I want to make sure that they feel, because yeah, family, it's important to me. Like I said, we weren't really around. It was kind of like, honestly, an anomaly to me to start fangingi, the practice of fangingi, right? We respect how we knew to respect others, but we were never really around aunties and uncles, so like that practice was just very unfamiliar. Like when I would follow like my friends to a party and stuff, and I would see them like fanginging their elders, it was just weird to me because I never did it, right? But later I learned about it, and of course I carry that practice to today. I feel like that's a dying practice, and it's so crazy how a person in my generation didn't even know what it was. Like growing up, I think it's just crazy that I didn't know what it was. But yes, now, girl, if I see you and you're older than me, I'm a fangingi you. The story of Sirena, we actually made a comedic skit out of it. And I don't know, I guess it's just like, putting a modern twist into a story like that. It's just fun. Again, like I said, something that I really enjoy is creating videos. And I do that with my other half and one of my closest friends. And we didn't retell the story of Sirena, but yeah, we just put like a little twist in whatever. Anyways. I would say, a message that I like to leave everyone with is, live your life to the fullest. You only live once, and so whatever you're doing, try to be the best at whatever you're doing. And don't be afraid to step out of your comfort zone. And just do you. I guess if I'm gonna say it in Chamorro, YOLO, but if I'm gonna say it in Chamorro, ZOLO, girl. Because YOLO. You only live once.